Howdy, folks. Widget Walls from needcoffee.com here. I'll take that off your hands. There we are. Howdy. So we're back again for another Wayhomer review. Let me get buckled in. Excuse me. Here's how it works for the uninitiated. I've just left the cinema. It's over that way. He said, jerking with his head as he tries to buckle up. Yes, cinema's back that way. I've seen a film, and I'm going to tell you about that film on my way home, because it's just easier that way. And today, we're here to talk about not Wolverine, not a Wolverine, but the Wolverine. Okay, I don't think I'll need these sunglasses. It's raining like madness. Alright, so, synopsis. Wolverine has sort of retired and is sort of depressed and has withdrawn from humanity. Which, let's face it, if you had been in X3 and his Secret Origins movie, you would want to run away from humanity as well. So he is there, but he is sought out by a messenger from someone from his past. Someone that, well, if you've seen the trailer, you've figured it out. Someone he has saved from an atomic bomb blast. And this person basically says, hey, thanks for saving my life. I would like to return the favor by giving you the opportunity to die. Which is sort of a weird bargain, but, you know, I suppose it makes sense somewhere. Anyway, the idea being that, of course, Wolverine has amazing healing powers, and thus we're not quite, well, I mean, we are, now that they've done Wolverine Origin and stuff like that, but he's very old. So he's been around for a long time, and he's seen lots of people that he loves die and all that other stuff. Who wants to live forever when love must die, la la la. You know how the song goes. Which, if they had playing on the jukebox in the bar in this film, would have been hilarious. So, anyway, as you can tell from the trailer, he has his healing power mucked with, and thus has to deal with being able to actually get shot and essentially stay shot. And what does he do from there? That's pretty much the setup. Alright. What's that? Oh, yes. Hopefully you can hear me. So anyway, first things first. Hugh Jackman is probably the longest suffering actor playing a superhero in the history of the film genre. Because they have yet to make a film that is as good as Hugh Jackman is at portraying Wolverine. Because I was on board with Hugh Jackman from the first film, where every time I was in, I was like, yes, that is Wolverine, you understand Wolverine, and he looks like Wolverine. And he basically is built like Wolverine. I mean, Hugh Jackman, he can be Jean Valjean and he can slice and dice you. I mean, that's range, okay? So, this is the 6th film he's made an appearance in as Wolverine. The 3 X films, X-Men First Class, Secret Origins, and now this. And this is supposed to be based on the classic Wolverine limited series by Frank Miller and Chris Claremont, where he goes to Japan and, in essence, fights a lot of ninjas. Which, if you think about it, that actually sounds like a great movie. I would like to see that movie. I have not seen that movie. Instead, because apparently they don't trust the source material, or they think that Wolverine fighting ninjas is somehow not enough. There's, you know, as you've seen in the trailer, you know, giant samurais and Snake Woman, which, by the way, I'm fairly certain you've already figured out, is their version of Viper. Now, this is going to be meaningless to people who don't read the comics, but let me just put in a word here. Dear filmmakers, you do know that because a character is named after some sort of animal, you don't have to, give them some version of the properties that animal has, right? Because the Viper, I'm fine with people being different than in the comics, but it just seems like they take it way, way too literally, right? I mean, like, we're going to see the Vulture in a Spider-Man film, and he's going to have a hankering for dead meat, Or we're going to have, I don't know, the Cheetah in a Wonder Woman film, and they're going to run in bursts very fast and want to, kill things with antlers. I mean, I don't know. It's just sort of, it doesn't have to, sometimes characters are called things, and they're just humans who thought they came up with a cool code name. All right? Just please take that under consideration. Now, the good news is that Hugh Jackman is still a Wolverine. He's still a great Wolverine. And the setup is nice in that you've got, a cool backdrop to do things with, because you've got, Japan, which has, got, just lots of cool things to look at in the background while people are fighting and or talking too much. So that's all well and good. However, you do have a lot of time in which not a lot happens, where there's lots of talking, which is fine, okay? But it almost seems like, and I'm sure there's a study somewhere about the proper ratio of talking to punching that should exist in this sort of film. And what I do know is that this film does not comply with that rate. Whatever it is, it just feels off. Just like when the ratio, the golden ratio of symmetrical face features and stuff like that, when it's off, you can just tell. Well, you can just tell that there's a bit too much talking in this film, okay? And it would be one thing if it was talking that was driving things forward, and I guess it is, but it's doing it at a sort of snail's pace, as though they had somehow mixed up, yes, like the traffic we're in now currently. Welcome to Atlanta, or like both the idea and the box office behind DreamWorks Turbo. But anyway, there's just a lot of that going on, and luckily, there's enough of Wolverine being Wolverine that at first you start to ignore things that really don't make a lot of sense. I've said before about how if you want my brain to turn off, I will gladly throw the breaker and let it turn off. But if it starts to wake up, it will be angry. And first of all, I wasn't pleased to see Bone Claws. Because I'm sorry, I know I may be one of 5 people in the world, but the Bone Claws is one of the stupidest ideas I've ever seen in any medium at all in my life. Probably the only thing stupider than that Marvel has done is Peter Parker taking off his mask. But anyway, that's a completely different rant altogether. But I hate them. So them being in here automatically gave me an allergic reaction. But, so, if you've got a Wolverine who has a healing factor that's shot, we've already established that the claws pop out, and they hurt when they pop out, which means that every time he pops his claws while his healing factor's going, is shot, we should see, like, blood flying when he's, like, slashing people. Which actually would have been pretty cool. Because there's actually not a lot of blood, because they were going, well, we don't want to screw this up with the MPAA, let's not have a lot of blood. Which is weird. Because, I mean, when was the last time you saw a film with ninjas in it, or Yakuza in it, that didn't have a lot of blood? So, anyway, I will say this for the film, though. Here is something that is impressive. Is that when it decides that it's going to go off the rails and completely stop making sense, and I mean, like, the physical properties of objects and the weight of things and stuff like that, that if you were having much more fun than this film enables you to have, you would forget and forgive. But if you, like me, has a brain that wakes up because it's bored with sleeping, you're going to wonder these things as well. But, I mean, let's just put it this way. If things are heavy, light people, and by that I mean non-heavy people, probably are going to have trouble shoving them. Take that for what it is. No spoilers, but when the weight of an object changes depending on what the plot needs, that's a problem. Because unstable molecules in the Marvel Universe are for costumes, not for weight and mass. And I know that seems nitpicky, but guess what? If you're not really, really enjoying a film, you get nitpicky, because there's nothing else to do. So, I mean, that's the problem with the Wolverine. There is a lot of missed opportunities for Wolverine fighting Yakuza and ninjas. And there's some of that, but not enough of that. And it's sad that Hugh Jackman's finest hour as Wolverine, I think Rob may have said this, his finest hour as Wolverine hasn't been an hour. It was about 10 seconds long, and it was an X-Men First Class. Okay? That is sad. We're still waiting for somebody to... in fact, an actor hasn't been this misused since Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. Because he had to go make the Thomas Crown Affair to make a decent James Bond film. So I don't know what Hugh Jackman is going to have to do to make a decent Wolverine film, but I'm sure it's going to have to be something similar. So anyway, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's a bunch of extraneous stuff that didn't need to be there, that because it's there, by the time you get to the end, it's almost like the writers went, oh, Jesus, we threw all this stuff at the wall, enough of it stuck, and now we have to make it pay off. I don't know, let's do this. That's what it felt like. When really, it could have been so simple. And I'm not grading it for the film it wasn't. I'm just saying the film it is, if you're going to add all that stuff, make it actually add something and not subtract. That's all I'm asking for. So, should you see it? Well, if you're stuck seeing it no matter what the critics are going to say, and or if you're going to enjoy it no matter what it is, if you enjoyed Secret Origins, you're going to absolutely love this, because it is better than Secret Origins. Granted, my ass is better than Secret Origins, okay? But, so if that's the case, if you're stuck going to go see this, at least go see a matinee. Do not see 3D. The 3D really didn't add that much, okay? But if you, like me, were approaching this with trepidation and thinking, maybe they pulled it off. Well, in my estimation, they did not. Darren Aronofsky, where did you go? We could have used you. Anyway, so, cup rating, I would have gone with a 1.5, and I would have given it an extra half a cup for Hugh Jackman, because I really appreciate him being Wolverine the way that he is. But because the 3D wasn't worth it, I got to take that half cup back, because that's my new rule. And I pay enough for that half cup, I should be able to take it back. So if you are going to see it, don't see the 3D. Ain't worth it. Okay? So there you go. Cup and a half. I don't even remember what I gave Secret Origins Wolverine. Maybe I gave it something like that, but maybe I've just gotten older and more bitter. So there you go. Hopefully, Days of Future Past will do something. I don't know. I'm just sad. Well, no, actually I'm not sad. I'm just going, at this point, after 6 films, I'm just like, well, I'm not sad, but I'm not surprised. So anyway, there you go. There's another Wayhomer in the can. Thanks so much for watching, as always. If you do enjoy these things, please go on to 2 social networks that you're on, one of the 20 that you're on currently, and share this with well, considering it's on a social network, share this with some total strangers. And we do appreciate it. So until next time, I'm Widget Walls, and we'll see you on the Wayhomer Reviews. Bye.